I'm trying to comprehend what the hell I'm looking at right here, folks. Take a look at this Jesus piece on dude's back. Dude got a full back tattoo with Jesus on the cross right here. And if this is not, hands down, I gotta be honest, this is probably the worst tattoo that I've ever seen in my life. I heard that this was a prison tattoo as well. What do you think this guy paid for this? I mean, is this what this tattoo always looked like? Dude's back is big as shit. I'm wondering if maybe he was working out and his back just started expanding and maybe that's why that tattoo ended up looking like this. If this is the way this tattoo has always looked, has this guy ever even seen this? Do you think that they used a stencil? Oh my God. Because if they did, and this is what the stencil looked like to a T, well then clearly this is the guy who wears this tattoo's fault. I wonder if this was free-handed. Because then it would actually make a little more sense to me. I mean, for a freehand, it's not too bad. Obviously, portrait work is not this guy's strong suit. I probably shouldn't make fun of this because I'm probably going to hell. I wonder how many fights this guy has gotten into because of this. You can't honestly walk around anywhere with your shirt off with something on your back looking like that. But then again, it probably makes for a pretty good conversation starter, right? Gosh almighty, who's your artist? Can I get his number? Yeah, man, it's looking at a tattoo like this that reminds me of one of the worst prison tattoos that I ever did. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was nowhere near this bad. At least artistically speaking, that is. You know, I wouldn't even take on a tattoo like this if I wasn't fully confident in my ability to be able to pull it off. You know, this artwork is trash right here. I think my son's almost 2 years old. I think my son could draw a better picture of Jesus than this right here. Look at the nose. Gosh almighty, the eyes, the mouth. Tells a story, doesn't it? Look at the thorns he wears around his crown there. Yikes. But again, yeah, this definitely reminds me of one of the worst tattoos I ever did in prison, and I want to share that story with you guys here. Now again, my particular tattoo had nothing to do with the artistic ability, but let's go ahead and talk about what this tattoo actually was. And interestingly enough about it, it wasn't necessarily one of my strong suits. There was a gang member guy that I was locked up with by the name of Roscoe. Now Roscoe was a sure enough about it type of an individual, dark-skinned fellow, which that's already a bit of a red flag right there anyways. Tattooing a dark-skinned guy, a really dark-skinned dude in prison is often something that you try to avoid. But sometimes it's really unavoidable. When a guy's coming up to you asking for tattoo work, he's as black as you could possibly be. And I'm not trying to make fun of, you know, his skin color or anything like that. Just really trying to paint this picture vividly for you. You know, you usually want to try to avoid tattooing guys like this because it's hard to, one, get the tattoo to show up. It's hard to get these tattoos to take. You know, when you do try to do a tattoo in prison on a really dark-skinned dude, me personally, let me just clarify that. I don't have a lot of experience with it. I mean, I've done them. One of the first tattoos that I ever did in jail was on a really dark-skinned guy. It came out well enough considering it was one of my first tattoos. I'll never forget that one neither. It was some barbells like bending in the middle with the plates on the end. It was very two-dimensional, to say the least. But hey, it looked good enough for a little pick and poke jail tattoo, and I was just learning. But I would find that, you know, when you're tattooing these dark-skinned dudes, you're really trying to bury that ink in them. And there's only so much burying you can do before you're scarring them up, and then that can lead to a list of problems in itself. But in my particular case with this guy Roscoe, and this being one of the worst tattoos that I ever did in prison, you know, this was during a time when I was starving in prison. Yeah, man, I was hungry. I wasn't getting a whole hell of a lot of work. The competition was pretty fierce between other tattoo artists who were way better than I was. And this tattoo actually got recommended me by another tattoo artist who didn't want no parts of it. But because Joe's locker was empty, Hey, Joe wasn't turning down no work. I don't give a damn how dark-skinned you are. I don't give a damn what your reputation is. But I would definitely live to regret this one. Oh boy, I would. So dude wanted a full half a sleeve, quarter sleeve. I can't remember exactly how much of it was. And I remembered it was like this money theme, which is a common denominator of a theme that guys want to get tattooed in prison, whether we're talking the money sleeves or the clocks and the calendars and the days of the week. Monday, thug life, representing how much time that we've done with the barbed wire and the fences and the brick and block walls. But in this particular case, it was a money theme. Money bags, dice, playing cards. This guy was a gambler, I guess. I didn't really know shit about Roscoe. He was somebody that I didn't really frequent the company of because, again, active gang member dude and just really didn't run in the same circles with this guy. But he comes with me with this idea. I draw up this cockamamie design for him. I wish I still had that to this day. My God, Joe's prison tattoo art could have legitimately been like NFTs out here. Are NFTs still even a thing? I haven't heard anything about those in a long time. I draw this design up for this guy and, he likes it. We agree on a price. I can't even remember what the price was. If we were going to use what we know of Joe today and how terrible I am at bidding work, you see me out here with this painting business, I probably was going to charge this guy something like $10 or $15 to get a whole half a quarter sleeve or whatever it was. It might have even been a full sleeve. 10 or 15 bucks. Out here in the real world with a real tattoo artist, you're probably going to spend $1,500, maybe even more than that. And again, real quick, I just can't take my eyes off of this Jesus piece. It's almost like an abstract thing. What if that's what this was supposed to be the entire time? Like a little Picasso painting or some shit. Jesus don't even look like he's crying on the cross right there, man. He looked like he's yelling like, hey, why you tattoo me up on this dude back looking like this? But at least this tattoo took. Doesn't look like he had any problem with infection, which, jumping the gun a little bit, is what would ultimately be the problem with this worst tattoo that I did. One of them. Maybe it actually was the worst tattoo because I can't remember another time when I got my ass kicked behind doing a tattoo, except in this particular case. So you know what? Let's not even go with one of the worst. Yeah, this one probably hands down was the worst. Me and Roscoe, we start doing this tattoo and hey, look, man, this is whatever it was. Quarter, half, whole sleeve. This is going to take some time. With a prison machine that's basically like riding a bicycle with the handlebars really shaky and you're not sure when they're going to fall off. A lot of your prison tattoo machines were exactly like that. I can remember the first ever prison tattoo gun that I was using. I literally had to hold the wires to the battery together with my knees, pushing my knees together. The wire coming from those batteries to the gun wasn't really all that long. So it was almost like, I almost had to have like dude's hand in my crotch to be able to tattoo him because I had to hold, man, some janky ass equipment. But if you can tattoo with that, you could tattoo with anything. Unfortunately, I couldn't really tattoo all that well with that. So I can only imagine that me with a real machine would be that much worse intensified. We start doing this tattoo work, and this is going to take multiple sessions to do. This is not going to be a quick job. We're going to be here for at least an entire day. And that's a long time to be hanging out with a guy that you don't associate with. He's a gang member. He's getting tattooed. He is... Hey, man, he's flexing right now. Hey, yo, Sue Whoop, two soup, thug life, G shine, we shine, blood, whatever. Brat. Oh, God, that brought me back. Yeah, man, hey, we got all the homies coming over. Damn, hey, what you paying for that? $15. Hey, let me get next. This actually started out not as bad as it would end. It actually started out great for me. It was like opening up a new business. You go through your highs and your lows. At one point, you've got no work at all. And then the next point, you got every Sue Whoop for life flying down on you like a little broke-winged seagull talking about, oh, let me get next. What was that, Jim? Things were looking up for your boy. At least temporarily they were. But with tattooing in prison comes constant guards doing rounds. And with that, you got to take the gloves off. Hey, yo, floor's wet, floor's wet. One time, squally. So you're hurrying up, you're taking the gloves off, you're putting the tattoo stuff up underneath of the locker. You're trying to keep it as clean as you possibly can, but you're tattooing in a freaking prison where nothing is clean, just to be honest with you. So many times of having to break this equipment down, take these gloves off, throw them 4 bunks down. I'm not even sure if they landed on somebody's bunk right there. I don't give a damn. You ain't gonna catch me with nothing. You ain't catching Joe red-handed no more. I've already been caught too many times. Guards get done doing their rounds. We get back to doing the tattooing. I need to share this with you because maybe this is where it came from, or maybe, well, it probably is where it came from. I'm not even going to try to pass the buck and say that Roscoe was potentially a dirty ass prisoner, even though looking back on the situation, my God, this was freaking 2 decades ago, damn near. You know, looking back on the situation, I get this smell that just comes to me as I'm thinking about this. And nope, it's not me. It's me thinking about doing this tattoo on Roscoe. Dude was musty as shit. You know, you can't afford deodorant, or if you ain't got no deodorant, but yet you can afford to get a tattoo. Stickman, you got your priorities screwed up. That's like going to commissary and ordering some icy white honey buns before you get your hygiene items. You just don't do that. But then again, looking at this situation in hindsight, so far separated from it, you know, maybe Roscoe's intentions the entire time were to just never pay me. You know, this is prison for God's sake, so we're not necessarily getting a deposit, a 20% down. Plus, it was only $15 anyways for the whole freaking sleeve. I mean, what is 20% of 15 bucks? I have no idea. Joe ain't good at math. 20% of $10 is $2. 374.25. No idea. You know, maybe Roscoe was never going to pay me. Who the hell knows? We would never get to that point, though, unfortunately. We would get the tattoo done, followed the pattern to a T. Couple of squiggly lines here and there, shading a little shaky. But you know what? Dude's dark-skinned AF. So, you know, any mistakes that I made, you're going to have a real tough time seeing those. That is actually, at least in prison, one of the pluses of tattooing a dark-skinned dude. If you misspell something, you're going to have to... I know this sounds horrible. You're going to have a real tough time seeing it. Long story short, the tattoo came out well enough. Hey, I was excited. I was like, oh shit, man. All these blood dudes about to be coming and trying to get a tattoo from old Joe. I don't even remember if dude was a blood. He could have been GD, and that could be the ultimate disrespect right now. Misrepresenting which set he actually was with. Hopefully he never sees this video. But anyways, we get done with the tattoo. I got these other gang member dudes. They're asking me for work. We're setting appointments. I've got my calendar book out. You know, well, I'm tied up tomorrow. I got a soccer game, but you know, the day after I'm available all day. I really ain't got nothing going on. Yeah. Could you imagine being busy in prison? I'm sorry. Why didn't I call? Oh shit, I was busy. Yeah, the days of our lives. It was an engrossing episode. A couple of days go by, Roscoe, and you know, I tell Roscoe, hey, look, here's how you take care of the thing. Wash it lightly with some warm water and soap. You know, just take it easy on this thing. Don't go out there hitting the weight pile and all of that. I don't know what Roscoe does. All I know is a couple of days later, he comes to me and he's like, hey, man, take a look at my arm right here. And man, as soon as I see it, I start freaking out. Because this is the worst case scenario that I'm noticing starting to take place on this dude's arm. I can see that this thing is bulging, it's inflamed, and it's looking like infection is getting ready to take place, if it's not already. And with infection comes the failure of tattoos. Ink gets pushed out. You get scar tissue. You could get scarred up really bad. And let me tell you the worst thing about tattooing a dark-skinned dude up in prison. Scarring him up. Because that shit is hella noticeable. And you can only take so many precautions when you're doing prison tattoos, putting some flame to the end of the needle to try to sanitize it. I mean, I remember being in the jail, having no access to fire whatsoever. We're mixing up graphite and water on a freaking jail cell pissy floor. And the only way that we're sterilizing needles is putting them through the state deodorant, which we're hoping has some alcohol in it. Yeah, we're sterile. I'm surprised my arms don't have AIDS right now. They probably do, to be honest with you. Roscoe's tattoo is infected and he's pissed. He knows it, I know it, and there's nothing that I can do to quell the situation. I'm sorry, Sorry's not going to fix this. Sorry's not going to stop your arm from falling off, which it could potentially do. He's scared. I'm scared. It's a bad situation. I'm trying to tell him, hey, look, take it easy on this tattoo. Hopefully this infection doesn't get any worse. But once infection happens, all it does is spread. Doesn't go away until it goes away with antibiotics and things of that nature. Roscoe's arm is, to say it lightly. Probably had to edit that out right there, but that's the truth of it. Roscoe's pissed. He's telling me he's not paying me for shit, which is crazy to think because he didn't pay me as soon as the tattoo was done, and I can't remember why that was. Oh yeah, I got to go to the store, and that's not going to be for a week. So yeah, I'll pay you when I when I go to the store. I can't remember why I accepted whatever bullshit rationale Roscoe gave me for why he couldn't pay me when the tattoo was done. But I did. I mean, what was I going to do? I was lowly old Joe. Joe ain't run with no set. See, that's the benefit of being a part of a gang. You know, if shit happens and it involves another gang, well then shit, we could have a gang war behind it. I could put in a work order, send it up to the upper echelon. They received that gang war. You ain't pay our constituent here, gang war. I had to accept whatever the rationale Roscoe gave to me was as to why I didn't get paid when the tattoo was done with, and I just took him at face value that he would get me paid. But certainly paid I would not get for this tattoo because 2 or 3 days later, Roscoe comes back basically carrying one arm in the other. What did you do to me? What did you do? Dude, we're tattooing in prison for God's sake. Hey, it's a roll of the dice, like what I tried to tattoo on your arm right there. You're a gambling man. Well, you certainly gambled with your life coming to me for a tattoo in prison. I mean, this ain't my fault. It's your fault. You're the one that wanted to do this. You went to one tattoo artist who turned you away. Obviously, his gut intuition was a lot better than mine was. You came to me. I was starving. We made it happen. And this was the risk that you took. Obviously, I couldn't say these things to this guy. Maybe I was thinking them. I probably wasn't. My timbers were probably shivered. There's no excuse that I can muster at this point except for, gee golly, I hope that this works out. And don't even worry about getting me paid right now. Let's get your arm better first. But I'm no surgeon. There's nothing that I could do right this second. We just had to wait it out. And waiting it out, we would, which would only lead to more infection and the tattoo ultimately fully failing. When the tattoo fully failed, this would only be 2 or 3 more days later, so we're probably talking about 4 or 5 days in total. The tattoo has not healed. The tattoo has become an epic fail of pus, blood, and infection. All ink has been pushed out of this thing, and Roscoe's coming to me telling me that he wants to beat me up. I should whoop your ass for this. But he doesn't do it right then and there. And let me tell you something, as a tattoo artist, you take a lot of risks in prison and jail. There's things that they tell you shouldn't do when you get to prison. Don't gamble, don't borrow anything, don't think that anybody's your friend, don't trust anybody. Those 3 things especially right there. It probably goes without saying, like, don't tattoo. Because that could ultimately be the most dangerous thing that you do while serving time. Tattooing the wrong thing, misspelling something, tattooing a girl's name on a guy, and then that girl leaves that guy immediately thereafter, and you're the bad omen. What are you, a witch doctor? She left me because I got this tattoo. Bing bong, bang bong type shit. When tattoos go wrong and things go wrong, it's nothing short of the bings and the bongs. Or it could be. And in my particular case, that's what was being offered up to me as an alternative, as a solution to this problem. We can't fix it, but we could certainly whoop your ass for this. And rightfully so. If I got a tattoo that failed, I'd want to fight somebody too. Actually, I've had a few. Roscoe telling me that he wants to whoop my ass and not doing it right there is like, gosh almighty, it's some kind of a mind fuck, really. I mean, we're talking torture, okay? Because I can't sleep, I'm paranoid. Do I need to go pay somebody for some protection? Do I got to get some help? And by him telling me that he wants to beat me up but not doing it, you start trying to come up with solutions. Do I go get the knife now? Do I wait? Maybe he was just angry in the moment. Maybe this too shall pass, like some cliche prison tattoo would say. I'm trying to justify this like, what? He just said that he's mad. Hey, I'd be mad too. He didn't do it, Man, he's kind of a swell guy for that. A day later, I'm in the bathroom and these guys come up in there. It was him and another dude. They beat the shit out of me right there in the bathroom. Didn't even say nothing, just hit me. Bing! And there ain't much that I can do. Hey, it's 2 against 1, so at least I can wear this ass whooping with pride. I can cower. I can ball up in the fetal position. I don't even have to try to fight back. I felt like this was owed to me. Now I look back on it being older, thinking to myself, what if I did, though? What if I did try to fight back and I won? 2v1. And Joe comes out on top. Yeah, that's what I thought. Both y'all laying on the ground right there. Man, y'all soft as a bitch. I know why y'all in a game. Y'all just got beat up by me, though. I screwed up dude's tattoo, and I beat him and his big homie up. Oh, shit. They'd have killed me in there. You know, there's some ass whoopings in prison that you just have to accept. And this was one that I felt like I had to. You know, I felt like also it was more so for sure. Yeah, they did beat me up, but you know, some prison fights are a lot more theatrical. It's almost like wrestling to a certain degree. A lot more over the tops and overreaching and I mean, they beat me up, but they didn't break no bones. They didn't cripple me. They didn't maim me. Yeah, I had a black eye and a couple of bruises and scrapes here and there, but all in all, I was no worse for the wear. I mean, sure, I looked like I got my ass kicked. My nose was bleeding. I'm cleaning myself up in the bathroom. People are coming and going. Nobody's coming to Joe's, hey, dude, are you okay? No, it probably was spread all over the prison that this was getting ready to happen because of this tattoo that went bad, however it went bad. Could have been from dirty equipment. Could have been from dude just not having proper hygiene about himself. It doesn't matter. I did the tattoo. It's my fault no matter how it went down. But I took the ass whooping. Now it's my due diligence to try to stay away from the guards so that they don't see this. I make it a couple of days before they finally do. I'm surprised that I made it that long, to be honest. They ask me if I'm okay. I tell them I fell down the stairs. They take me down to the investigator's office. They're trying to harp on me about what happened. I'm telling them thug life for life. I don't talk to the cops. They put me in the hole under investigation for like 10 days. Coming back there trying to get me to talk. I'm not saying nothing. I'm surprised nobody else told. That's the real thing that I'm surprised about here. Because with the fact that probably everybody knew about the situation, somebody else telling, thank God that they didn't. Because if Roscoe would have went down, it would have been a lot more problems for me. I never got paid for the tattoo. After about 10 days, I would come out of isolation. I get moved to a new cell block, and I'm sure that everybody's heard. I'm still a little beaten from the situation, but I got to get back into bid mode. Took the ass whooping like a man, which is weird to say. And it would be shortly thereafter where I would have more guys coming up to me asking for tattoo work because there weren't no other tattoo dudes in this cell block at this particular time. And because Joe don't learn no lessons, I got right back up into the thick of it. Surely I did. And you know what's crazy is I don't recall a time after that where another tattoo got screwed up as badly as this one did on this guy Roscoe. So, not sure what to make of all of that. But anyways, just wanted to share that story with y'all, and I hope it was one that you enjoyed. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment on this. I'm really enjoying getting back to sharing prison stories with y'all, and I hope that you're enjoying that as well. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!